All right, so it's recording now. So the first question is, are we okay seeing many of our young men and women being killed in our communities? And if not, man, what's the solution? Because there's a lot of them dying. What's the solution? Yeah, Miko.
Word. How much time I got?
3 minutes.
All right, word. So nah, man, we ain't okay with that at all, man. We ain't okay with that, not even like a little bit. And we keep hearing about we need and you keep hearing about education and economics and things like that. One thing that we definitely gonna need, man, is brothers and sisters, man, mainly brothers, man, dudes, to step up because it's gonna start. Because you need some protection now, because it's gonna come down to just dudes protecting their own and helping out in their communities. Because you're gonna still have some knuckleheads out there that's gonna still think a certain way. I'm on my timeline, man, every day, and I see more posts on Facebook about how N-words ain't ish, black men ain't ish, and all this kind of stuff. And you're gonna have people who gonna just have that kind of mindset. And that's coming, you know what I'm saying? And that's coming from like our black women. Like you know what I'm saying? Because they've been done wrong by some dude. So now all black men are the same way. So they are instilling that kind of thinking and stuff into their children and stuff like that. And it's a never-ending cycle. So more than just education and economics, you're gonna need protection, because you're gonna need some brothers to step up and police our neighborhoods, police our own neighborhoods, you know what I mean? And make sure that they're doing it with the right intentions. Like the video that my man set out the other day, the NFAC, like some cats like that, or them cats like New Era Detroit, that's what we're gonna need. That's what I believe too. Is the next step is economics, education, and protection.
That's what's up. Somebody got some feedback coming in. I don't know who's that offer, but we'll figure it out. But go ahead, Mo.
Okay. First of all, I got to give a shout out to Charlotte. Asheville, North Carolina, was the first city to come up with respiration. I don't know if you guys saw that, and it's not as far as finance goes, but it's more for like businesses and for like Nico said, education, which is big. So of course we're not okay with our black and brown people killing each other, and we got to just break these generational curses. We got to stop hating each other. That's the biggest thing. And a lot of times you find, I know in my hood is man, you'll find kids that they ain't not able to get credit, but got bad credit because their mother or father has put things in their name. So it's like Todd goes back to saying, we can't just throw money at it, because all you're gonna do is have people with money doing stupid stuff. So, like Nico said, education is a big key. Financial awareness and financial responsibility is a big key. Like Joe said earlier, man, this epidemic put you in a financial bind, then you are already a step away from being in a financial bind. And it's interesting to see how many companies that went for bailouts and grab money, when they always preach have 6 to 3 months savings. It wasn't even 6 to 3 months, and they was grabbing all the money. So it was just crazy that to me that happens. But that's how the big machine keeps moving, and they write the laws and regulations where they already know the avenues to get the money before those little small businesses and everybody gets money. So we just gotta educate ourselves, and we need more people to look like us in the school system teaching these kids, so they'll have something better to look forward to besides just hooping, or just trying to get in the movies. We gotta get back to that Tulsa, Black Wall Street, where we had our money, our finances, and we own stuff. We don't really own anything. So if we can get all that stuff situated, man, I think we'll be on the right track. But it's gonna be, we didn't get there like this overnight, so we're not gonna get out of it overnight. So that's my take.
Good job, man. Good stuff. It's on you, Ty.
I believe that, you know, basically it's us. Like, our whole foundation is messed up. To me, I look at it the way we portray each other. Think about it. Where we from in the hood, drug dealers is cool. But drug dealers are just selling drugs to black people and messing up our lives. We look at pimps as cool. Pimps are just taking advantage of our women and making them wrong. And it's like rap music. It comes from us. Like, hip hop is a black owned thing. And we the ones that brung hip hop into the world. But you really think about it. If you listen to hip hop music, all the dudes who they talking about, who you think they talking about? They talking about their own people. Their own people is the ones they gonna shoot. Their own people is the ones they don't like. Their own people is the ones they gonna, you know, if they see them, they gonna pull out the Gallico and all the guns and all that. It's like everything is, we doing it to ourselves, man. Like like I said, it's just me, but my mentality is I believe in us. And we the reason we in the situation, and we the only people that gonna be able to get us out of it. But it's a mind state. We have to really start realizing that we need each other. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I be walking down the street sometime and I'll see a black man and be like, hey, what's up? Just nod my head like, hey, what's up? And he'll look at me like, you know what I mean? Like, he's scared of me. You know what I mean? I'm saying to myself, like, don't get me wrong, I understand everybody not gonna love each other and all that, but as black people, we have to realize we are really in this together, man. Like, we all go through it because of our skin color at the end of the day. Like, I was looking online and they talking about this, like, Jada Pinkett and Will Smith stuff. Like, I hear people getting into them and disrespecting them and all that, but I'm like, at the end of the day, they went through a relationship problem. They went through an issue that they resolved themselves. They fixed the issue between them. And at the end of the day, they're two successful black people who got a lot of money last time I checked, and they good. They evidently came to an agreement. So how is everybody else, especially black people, got something negative to say about them? Like, you know what I mean? Like, my thing is, only way we're gonna stop what's going on between us, nobody on the outside gonna be able to fix us but us. And the reason, like what's they said about the Black Wall Street thing, back in the days, black people were more together. So it'd be easy for them to say, hey, let's do this. Like, think about it. How many black people are doing business with other black people? You know what I mean? Like, we come up with a scheme, keep it to ourselves. We don't put other people on. We try to do it by ourselves, or we run to the white man, he give us the bag or whatever. Now we loyal to them because they wrote us a check, and we forget about our people, man. Like, we have to come together. Like, and that's the only way it's gonna work. And it ain't about money, man, because you give a dumb people a bunch of money, all they gonna do is go spend. Think about it. That stimulus check they gave everybody, $1,200. I guarantee you, they can get that money right back. They didn't invest it. They didn't do nothing with it. They spent it right back with the same people who gave it to them. And I see your hand up, Rome, and I'm done.
Good job, brother. It's on you, DC. When I put that hand up, that means 15 seconds left.
Got you. Show of hands, who's down with BOBC? Nobody. And if you don't understand that acronym, that's black on black crime. I don't think no black, other than the dudes that's out there doing that, ain't nobody down with that. Ain't nobody happy. You go into them hoods, they're not satisfied with that. You ask them, you ask the good people in that neighborhood. It's a small percentage. And we all knew who they were. If you was in the hood, you knew which ones was getting money, getting it dirty, killing, slinging drugs, and the whole nine. And it ain't everybody that's doing it. So I'm gonna tell you, poverty is synonymous with crime. And I know a lot of people don't like when I say, get that bag. And let me clarify that for those who dislike that word. Wall Street, Black Wall Street had that bag. And if you go back in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and look at the crime stats, during that time they had that bag, 0 at best, because everybody got it. So when we talk about that bag, don't get offended by it. It's what you do with it. It is what separates the rich from the poor, but at the same time, it's what will solve a lot of our people's problems. So when our communities, and let's be clear, Tulsa wasn't the only Black Wall Street. You had many cities, including Harlem, including Black Bottom in Detroit, including the South Side of Chicago. Down in Miami and multiple cities throughout this nation, everybody had a Black Wall Street. Everybody had that bag, and everybody was taking care of everybody. So the bag ain't the problem until we decide that we're going to invoke that European style of living, and we are individualists. It's that dog eat dog. But who in our communities, if you got that bag, I'll give you right now in sports, LeBron James is a perfect example. This dude is opening up schools. He's helping communities out. He's building courts because he got that bag. Poverty is an issue that causes all of our. Now, here's what I'm gonna tell you. If all of us on this call, all 7 of us had that bag, I might want to take Rome's bag, Tamiko's bag, Joe's bag. We can deal with them people because you got them greedy ones out there that's causing problems. But at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with the bag. It's what we do with it. We ain't gotta be in $1 million houses. We ain't gotta have 10 cars in our parking lots. We ain't gotta have truck jewelry all over our spaces and our faces. It's what you do with these young ones. To a certain degree, everybody on this call got a little bit of that bag. And it's okay to have a bag. But when it stops you from being who you really are, then that becomes the problem. So we can stop poverty, and we can stop it by getting that bag.
Good job, brother. So on you, Joe. That's what's up.
I'm not okay seeing anybody killed. I'm not okay with cops killing Black unarmed people. And I'm not okay with Black people killing Black people. The solution, everybody's saying it. They're saying it, but they're saying one person is saying one point. Most said education, poverty, all these things. So you got to realize, in order for us to escape from this situation that we're in, we can sit back and call it out, right? But if we call it out without understanding or putting ourselves in the mindset of those that's doing it, like for instance, let's take Black on Black crime, right? I think all 7 of us on this panel, we've either come in contact with someone or some situation that taught us that it was a better way. I think everybody could agree with that. Something came in contact with you that said, yo, forget that, come here, this is where it's at. What do the people do that don't meet somebody, right? How does their mindset get changed? We were put in a situation where poverty controls, we're undereducated, our communities don't have any of this stuff, and our communities are mostly Black. So with those things that were put in our community, think about how we got here as a people. Through kidnapping, murder, rape, stealing, robbery, all those things were put in our community with us in that same community, and people who haven't been touched like us, they're gonna result to the same, how we got here, they're gonna result to the same things. If we're not educated, we don't get a little bit of money, and we teach us a better way from the ground up to get away from all this and be right, then we're never gonna solve. But we gotta understand the mindset. It's unfair for us to call it out. I'm guilty to call it out, but it's us, all 7 of us, that I gotta go back in those hoods and pull 2 or 3 people and say, yo, you gotta do it like this. Don't do it like that, do it like this. That's what it's gonna take. But to a certain degree, they won't listen, and to a certain degree, we're selfish. Because like he said, we got a little bit of it, and we cool with that. We might help our sons out, our nephews, but are we really going back in the hood? Are we really working with people like Rome and DC? Are we really? I think that's the solution right there. A combination of money, education, and we gotta get ourselves back in the community. That's what I think.
Good job. Man, good stuff, man. Good job. So you, Slice? A lot of Jews going on, man.
Are we okay with killing our own people in our communities? Our men and women? Very much not. We're not happy at all about that. With the way that since we have went through this pandemic, it seems like we are getting worse. I mean, we got a pandemic going on. We got, you know, people losing their jobs, and a lot of folks don't have jobs, don't have money, and we got the Black Lives Matter movement going on. But even though we got all these things going on in the world, trying to be more positive and turn this world into a better place, we as Black people are terrible. I'm just gonna put it out there. We doing a terrible job, man. We don't get along. We study increasing killing our own people. It's terrible. I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, we lost 6 young kids, man, to young Black men out there trying to shoot at and kill each other, and killed 6 young kids in the last 2 to 3 weeks ago. That was terrible, man, across the world, man. It breaks my heart, man, to see what is happening with us, man. You don't see that in other races. You can't tell me you see the same thing in other races. We are our own worst enemies. And
Yes, sir.
And it just breaks my heart every day, man, when I look at the news or when I look on my phone or you know, some come across the screen talking about what we've done. Like not too long ago, like a couple of weeks ago, like in my hometown, young guy got into it with a guy in the mall, waited till the guy come out the mall, killed the guy. Man, I don't know the solution, man, but I pray to God every day, man, that we could find the solution. That we could find the solution. As we all said before, it all starts at home. It starts at home. But not only does it start at home, but these young brothers, man, who are doing these crimes and shooting, killing one another, man, at some point, when you get old enough, you know what's law abiding and what's not law abiding. Find things to do to construct your life better, instead of sitting in a cage for the rest of your life. Sitting in a cage. I don't understand. I can't even understand why they would even want to do that. But that's my take, man. It's heartbreaking.
That's what's up, man. So, the last one's on me. So the reason why I asked that question is I was looking at, several different things, and I look at when people say, there's no snitching, like I'm not a snitch and all of that. And, in our communities, man, we need to police our communities, right? Like we need to be the ones, like when something goes down, like it's done within. That's what the Italians do. They ain't calling no police. You know what I'm saying? Like you kill one of theirs, the family gonna take care of it. So the family is the Black community, but we've adopted codes and broken away from codes and forgot so many different things that we've forgotten what it is that we really supposed to be doing. So I deal with kids all day, man. Here in DC there was a kid who got killed, 11 years old. I don't know if y'all heard about it. His mom moved him out of the hood. They said this kid was gonna be like the next Michael Vick, 11 years old. His mom moved him out of the neighborhood. She came back to do a fundraiser, Stop the Violence. They shot the place up. The kid was coming to the event to get a charger and some earbuds from one of his family members and got hit in the head and died. So how do you think that kid's mother felt? 11 years old. You know what I'm saying? The solution is, man, we got to we need people like when we was younger to step up and say, yo, that's the wrong thing that you're doing. Like when you was younger and a grown person saw you, like they was like, hey, what you doing, boy? Like, you ain't supposed to be doing that. And nowadays, the adults are scared of the kids. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get the guns out the city. That's I know here in DC, it's terrible. These kids shooting like it's no tomorrow. So once you get the guns, you, like everybody said, you educate, you deal with poverty. That's the only solution. A person who's in stress, who feel that they don't have nothing to lose, whether economically or from an educational standpoint, would do anything. So, you know, all you guys said everything that's important, but I think we got to start policing our own communities, and we can start with that. The next question. Yeah, I know you guys are gonna be ready for this one. So, because we were stripped of our language, our culture, and our way of thinking, is that one of the main reasons we view God the way we do? So I'm gonna start with Tamiko. It's on you, brother.
Yo, man, that's an excellent question, bro. Because you know, a lot of us, man, especially like me, you know what I'm saying? I was born and raised down south, so you know, church is like a way of life. You know, going to church every Sunday, and every time there's a revival, and sometimes you go in church, man, like you know, like 9 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, and come out, you know, like 2 o'clock Tuesday afternoon, and so you know, that was like just like a way of life, you know, and that's just what we was taught. And just like you're saying, being stripped of all of that, you know, and we're gonna get to my man in a minute, but I kind of go toward the side of how Ty feel about it, you know, when it comes to, you know, God and church and stuff like that, and religion and all, because all that, you know what I'm saying, because all that got watered down, man, throughout time. Religions and different religions, because you got your Pentecostal, Methodists, and all these, you know, you got these gang of different denominations, which I think is all man-made anyway. All these different denominations, they all, you know, interpreting things differently, and you know, and I'm just one of them kind of people, man. Matter of fact, to my man Aries Spears, he did a interview with DJ Vlad, where he talked about it, and I'm kind of like how he feels about it. He said, I'm not an atheist, and I'm not either. I know. He said, but he said, man, but I'm towing that line. He said, because you know, he said, you know, we always say, you know, God is always on time. He was like, 400 years of oppression, you know what I'm saying, slavery for our people. Think about this though, man. This is something I thought about that people don't really think about this. They really don't think about slavery like this. Right now, most of y'all got kids, or if y'all all do got kids. Coming up, they can grow up to be what they want to be. You can tell them, you can grow up to be what you want to be. Get a great education, and you can grow up to be like what you want to be. But during slavery time, that went on for over 400 years. There was no hope. So if you was lucky enough to make it to be old, if you had kids or grandkids, wasn't no hope of them growing up to be nothing else but a slave. They had no hope of growing up to be a doctor, a lawyer, or this or that, because it went on for 400 years. So if you think about a 400-year time span, that went on for 400 years. So there was no hope for hundreds of years. You just hope that they lived and survived. That was it. So to think about that, that's my take on it, man. You know what I mean? So that's my take, bro.
All right, brother. So you, Mo?
Just for me, man, my view on God and everything else is, man, I'm just not that arrogant. I can't believe that there's not a bigger or better way, or someone that's bigger than me that created all this, that formed everything, that, you know, made people the way they are. And the one thing that I gravitate toward being a Christian and Christianity is love. I mean, I grew up in the church. In 1988, my mother, I called her. I was living in Japan at the time, and I said, you know, it's Mother's Day. I called her, happy Mother's Day, Mom, what's going on? She said, well, I'm tired of hitting people by the way of the knife. I'm gonna hit them by the way of the Lord. And she became an ordained minister. And like Miko said, to see the religion and see the things that she had to go through, and how she had to take a back seat and be you know, not be able to speak in certain churches and things like that, it kind of turned me off religion, really, big time. But, you know, it never crushed my faith in like a higher being, a God or Jesus or someone that, you know, taught love. Because, you know, you think about all these different religions, and that's the one main thing that I always take away. And it's like Ty said, man, we love ourselves and we really love people like we were supposed to, we wouldn't have all these issues that we have. But, you know, it's just a facade. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing. We here in San Antonio, we had a Mexican church, a white church, and a black church that came together at Tri Point. We tried that, and we had these cards we passed out where everybody got a different color card, so you had to sit where you had whatever color of the card you had, right? And it was so uncomfortable in that church that day that you can't tell me that the Spirit of God or nobody was in there, because it was just like the tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. And love shouldn't be that way. You know, we all truly love each other, and that's my brother and sister in Christ, or my brother and sister. So for me, man, it's just you know, turn the other cheek, try to be the better person, try to be the bigger person, speak to everybody, love everyone, love our neighbor as myself. And it's just a mindset that, you know, you gotta, you know, grind for and go through and live by, regardless of what happens to you. Because you're gonna get trials and tribulations. It rains on the just and the unjust. I mean, you know, everybody has good days and bad days, but it's just you gotta choose love, choose good, and see the best in everybody you can.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Eyes on you, Ty.
Well, the whole religion thing with me is like, you know, me and Rome grew up where we grew up with our grandmother, and my grandmother tried to take us to church to get into church, but church just never got into me, because I seen my grandmother go to church and, you know, pray to God all day, then come home, get drunk, curse people out, and all that, as if God didn't exist. So I knew it wasn't real. And my whole thing with the whole religion thing is, it's like common sense tells me religion was given to us during slavery, right? By the same white people who were enslaving us. And last time I checked, it says you go to heaven by doing the right thing. So it's just like saying all the white people, I guess, weren't trying to go to heaven because they weren't doing the right thing from Jump Street. They made us into slaves and gave us something to believe in God and to pray to God and ask God to do this and ask God to do that, when at the end of the day, we are kings and queens. We are God. We are the ones that dictate what happens to us in life. That's why I always say we do a lot of praying, but I know for a fact, if any one of y'all go in a room right now by yourself and pray to God that something happens, I guarantee you, when you come out of that room, the only person who know what you said is yourself. No one else is gonna know what you said except you. And like I said, and me and Rome is like, with the religion thing, we different, but it's like we believe the same exact thing. We just get the message from somewhere else. And Rome is gifted enough where he was at a point where he believed the same thing. He believed in himself. He believed that it was him. And then, you know, he got into the religion thing and he learned that. And that's an addition. Like, you know what I mean? I would never knock the one who does believe in God, because if you believe in God and God makes you a better person, hey, all day long, please believe in God. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's too many people I see out here, always something happen, they be praise up and pray this. Like, who are you? Like, who's gonna fix that? Like, you gonna pray every day to a God that, how do you know what he's doing for you? At the end of the day, what's happening to you in your life is your doing, is what you're doing. So if everybody believed in themselves the way we're supposed to, we wouldn't believe in no mystery God, because whether people want to admit it or I don't know what it is at the end of the day, it's millions and millions and millions of people who have passed away. Ain't nobody came back and let nobody know about heaven yet. No, nobody. And people say they believe in all that, but be honest with you, That's the truth. But at the end of the day, you got to look at it as, look who gave us the religion. Like, you know what I mean? They knew how great we were. So they looked at it like, if we could make these people believe in something besides themselves, we would never have to worry about them, you know, breaking out of slavery or doing nothing, because they believe in something that don't even exist. And I'm done.
It's a lot right there. It's a lot, man. Good stuff.
Yep.
It's on you, DC. What you got, brother? What's your
some help over here?
Carson, come here.
Yeah, all right. My belief is, first of all, I believe in the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Shah. We can't do nothing without Him, first of all. But our condition as a people, I believe, provided the proving ground for many of us who don't believe. I mean, who wants to celebrate and look to a God in a life of strife? You know, people blame God. If there was a God and if God was, you know, almighty, why was there slavery? Why did the white man become evil? Why did he come over here and take the indigenous folks' land and decimate them? And I do understand that. I understand that completely of, you know, how we could feel that way. And I'm going to just read a Bible scripture. And I hear people throw this around a little bit. They really don't have a full understanding. This is Hosea 4:6, and I read the King James Version. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. What is that knowledge? That knowledge is that Bible. If you don't read it and don't understand it, then you will never evolve and understand what the Most High has for you. And let me continue. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, and I will also reject thee, that also shall be no priest to me. Meaning you can't serve me as a teacher in my word. Seeing that thou hast forgotten thy law of the God, I will forget thy children. He talking to our ancestors. So that's why we forgotten. And if you really know the truth for the reason we in the condition we in, it's because we violated the Most High's laws. He ain't never say had no religions, all this Baptist, and I was a part of it young, even as an adult. Islam, Judaism, Seventh-day Adventist, Lutheran, AME. He said, follow my laws. And if we would do right if we just follow those commandments. And it's a myth. There's not 10 commandments. There's over 636 commandments that's out there. And then what we also believe is the white man wrote the Bible. And that's a falsity too. That book was written by us, to us, and for us. And anybody in here, they look at the revelation of Jesus Christ and what he looked like? Woolly hair. We the only people that got woolly hair. Feet of bronze, burnt. And we want to profess a white Jesus. That's what confused us. So in slavery, they gave it back to us, repackaged it and said, hey, this is what you should be looking at. And that's a problem. And that's why we're confused as a people. But if we believe who we are, then we wouldn't be doing a lot of what we're doing right now.
Good stuff, man. Good analogy. So on you, Joe.
It's like this, right? The slave masters back in the day, they were making a mockery of Christianity when they supposedly handed it off to us. I liken it to this type of example. I learned basketball, a great deal of it, from Ken Gershon, all right? But he taught me the game of basketball, which I have a profound love for. I've never loved anything in my life more than I love basketball, right? But Gershon didn't teach me half of what I really knew about the sport. He didn't teach me the niceties. He didn't help me love it more. Matter of fact, the way he was, it made me question whether I should even be a part of this. So just because he handed me gave me some of the blueprint of it, should I love the rest of it because he was foul? I don't think so. I think that God, the beautiful thing about God, and let me tell you what I believe. I believe in God, a higher power. I believe in his son Jesus, and I believe in the Holy Spirit that he leaves here on earth to comfort us. Have I seen any one of them? Not personally and not visually, but I have seen them work in my life. I could never even say a word without giving them total credit for anything that I've done in my life good. I just can't. That's just what I believe. I believe that Christianity sometimes is used in situations to gain power, to gain authority, to gain money. And the bottom line is that verse that he read, everybody deserves their chance to read the book, and then you won't need anybody else to interpret it for yourself. You'll get into that book, it'll tell you some things, it'll help with your life, and you'll be able to go on. You won't have to look at somebody. I mean, you think about it. People who haven't read the Bible or who haven't read the Bible, you done had sex before outside of marriage, you done stole, you done hit somebody, you done did some wrong things to people. But the thing is, though, there's this thing called forgiveness that God allows, that he gives us free of choice, and we can start over again the next day. But you can't tell me that you don't look out into the universe and see that we see a tree and we think that somehow it's man-made. If the tree itself is man-made, the theory's not. How does a tree become from a little tree to a big tree besides water? Why does water do it? Why does sun do it? Why? Where is the sun? How come there is a sun? How come there's dark? There's so many questions that we can ask each other, and we just got to search for that knowledge for ourselves. But in my opinion, there is a higher being. And I think all these different religions, I think that's just the beauty of God. He lets you have freedom of choice. The bottom line is that as long as we agree that there's a God and he came back and he sent his son to die for us so we could go to heaven, I do believe there's a heaven. I haven't seen it. But I think part of our life is having faith in something bigger than ourselves. So I think that we've off base, just like we're off base in our community with all the things that we did, but all the things that were in there that help us, they were used to trick us and mistreat us. And so now we can't make sense of us, but we need us. My time's up.
Man, that was a lot right there, man. I think Slice broke away from us for a second. So what I'm gonna do is mute him out. When he come back, I'll go, and then I'll just let him go last. Hold on, let me reset. All right, so this is my take on it. I think that for many of us that grew up in households that were given maybe a false narrative, or maybe we've been shown a picture that we don't identify with, or growing up in our communities that we grew up in, we looked at God as this white person, and so we attached that to white people oppressing black people, and now it's easy to say, well, God can't be real. And I remember just growing up around all of our, Joe know, mostly all the dudes that we know were 5%ers. And they were the only dudes really like kicking some real stuff. Like Christians just wasn't on the corners talking. You seen Muslims and you seen 5%ers and you seen them out there building, and you like, dang, I wanna know what that's about. And so as a young kid, I gravitated to that because it made a whole lot of sense. Right? And as I got older, I still had that same kind of like thinking. And then some people like, introduced me to Christianity. And at first I was rejected. I didn't want to hear it. My wife now had years ago told me about Christianity, but I was like, and a couple other people I knew, talked to me. And then, the great thing about God and is your own personal relationship, right? And so, Matthew 5:45, as Mo said, it says God reigns on the just and the unjust. I mean, it doesn't matter, if you good or if you bad or if you rich or you poor, like we all gonna go through some stuff. But I really believe there's revelation. So for me, my revelation, when I really started to believe in Christ and I really started to read for myself and get the knowledge for myself, and then I was in a car accident that really I shouldn't be here to this day. And I literally saw me move from one lane to 3 lanes over, and every car just stopped. Not literally, but it was so much traffic that there's no way that I shouldn't have hit something. And on top of that, it was a retaining wall, right? So you say to yourself, like, how does that happen? The average person doesn't walk away. And I walked away with nothing, like not a scratch or anything. So I think that God, people have used religion in a negative way, that they've turned people off from who God really is. So once you read for yourself and you study to show yourself approved, then no one will ever be able to tell you if God is real or if God isn't. It's just your view on what you believe in. So it's your faith, it's your belief, and it's what you believe in. For me, it's Christianity, because I read and I study and I understand. You know, if a person believes in Allah, whatever they believe in, that's on them. But you got to realize that there is a higher power to do the things that we've done. And if we question things like that, then we need to question, do we really live in Texas? Do we really live in Arizona? Do we really live in Virginia? Do we really live in Mississippi? Do we really live in Alaska? We're going to say, well, how did you find that out? Somebody told us that. So if we don't believe that, then what are we really going to believe? So that's my time. I'm going to unmute Slice, and it's his turn. All right, Slice, it's on you, brother. We know you stepped away. I had to mute you for a second. But it's been some good dialogue, man, some good perspectives from everybody. It's on you now, brother.
Hey, man, I apologize, brother.
Oh, no problem. Go ahead,
sorry
man.
about that. First and foremost, I'm a Christian. I like to say that. I definitely believe in my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Everyone has had some very great viewpoints and everything, but I like to start off with John 16:33. These things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. So with that lets me know that, no matter what is going on in this world, God has overcome the world. That means for me to continue to have faith and to continue to have hope and to continue to trust in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because we're going to have tribulations. Everybody's going to have trials and tribulations. Just like Mo and Rome said, you're going to go through things, and it's going to rain on the just and the unjust. We just got to keep our walk straight. I mean, as far as not our walk straight, but keep in the fight for the continue to be on the road for your purpose. That means, having faith, trusting, and believing. First and foremost, you got to have a relationship with the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You just can't go off what other people are saying. You got to seek him for yourself. You got to seek him first. And one of my other passages I always, especially during this time of what's going on in the world, is 2 Chronicles 7:14. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven. Then will I forgive their sin. Then will I heal their land. It's about, like he said, we have to understand that just because things happen to us, it's not always God's fault. Sometimes we put ourselves in bad situations, and then we want to blame God. We have to be truthful with ourselves and know that, God wants the best for us. No matter what is going on in our lives, he wants the best for us at all times. Yes, we go through death. We go through things. We go through some very, trying times in our life. But if we just keep putting one foot in front of the other and keep our faith and trust in him, I guarantee you things are going to get better. And that's just having that relationship, like I said, with our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, keeping your trust, your faith, and believing.
That's good, man. One of the reasons why I posed this question, I mean, as you guys know, I was checking out you guys' conversation, and I think that these are conversations that you need to have. I remember when I first got saved, I have a tattoo, and it say Allah is God, and I wanted to remove it. You know what I mean? I was like, that's like a contradictory. Like, I'm a Christian now, but I got a tattoo that say Allah is God, and it's clear as day. Like, if God was speaking to me, like if he was, let's say a voice came out, like, why would you do that? I can use you. And I didn't really understand. So I was reading, and I realized that for people who are on the fence, or people who are who don't know, who are trying to find themselves, or people who get that revelation, somebody like myself who is in their same position can be able to talk to them and say, I was there before, I understand exactly what you're going through. Just have faith and believe, whichever way you go, whether they say I'm gonna be a Muslim or I'm gonna be a Christian, but I can understand that. And I think sometimes when we try to do things on our own, and we don't think, we don't pray, we can't blame God. Like we have to blame ourselves, because sometimes the answers is right in front of you. Like we know what we're supposed to do, but then we act on our own reactions, and we do the things that we want to do. So you guys actually made me create that question based on you guys' conversation, which I thought was some good dialogue. And it's good that we don't all think the same and we have different perspectives, you know what I mean? But we could still be men and we could talk about stuff, because I think a lot of times what happens in our community as well is if we don't agree, then we beef it. You know what I mean? That's typically like, but no, we have difference of opinions, but that don't mean that we don't get along, or we don't, you know what I mean? Like I can't talk to him now because he believe in this and I believe in that. What I always tell somebody is, and I had a conversation with a guy before, because he was telling me he was a Seventh-day Adventist, and he was like, oh, we deal with the Sabbath and all that. I said, yo, bro, let me ask you a question. I said, you believe in Christ? He said, yeah. I said, we got that in common. I don't care if you go to church on Saturday or Sunday. Like, what does that really matter? I ain't trying to tell you what you should do. You know what I'm saying? But we believe in the same thing. That's all that matters. When you start having different denominations and all that, all you're doing is bringing division. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about none of that. Baptist, Pentecost, it doesn't matter. I know it's there, but I really don't care about all of that. You believe in Christ? Yes. Okay, we good. We believe in the same thing. Keep it pushing.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Mo.
Yeah, bro. That's why I really always say, like when I taught Sunday school, it's the ABCs: accept, believe, and confess. I mean, I always look at it as when Jesus was on the cross and the sinner asked him, will you save me? And he saved him. He said, today you will be with me in paradise. He didn't have to go through no baptism. He didn't, worry about what color he was, what sins he committed or whatever. He believed, he confessed, he said he was a sinner. And the other guy said, oh, he's not God or he's not Jesus because he ain't got down off this cross, So just that simple. ABCs: accept, believe, and confess.
Absolutely.
We all gonna sin. We all gonna fall short. And I just truly believe it's a higher being, and that he's one, and it's about love. I mean, he loved the prostitute. He loved the tax collector. I mean, everybody he loved. So.
Yeah, Ty, I see you had your hand up, and then Miko.
The one thing that's dope about what you said about Allah being God and you having that tattoo is that I think people, even with like you said, people don't even get the understanding what's going on, because think about it. Even in Allah, it's like people think, when they think of Allah, they still think of a spiritual God. Like Allah is a spiritual God, when at the end of the day, all Allah is self. if you break it down, you spell Allah, A-L-L-A-H. All that is your arm, both of your legs, your other arm, and your head. That's how you spell Allah. So all Islam is teaching you is to believe in self. Like, you know what I mean? To do for self and to be knowing that. But think about it. If someone sits at home all day and pray to God that their bills are paid and pray for this, I guarantee you nothing happens. But if you believe in yourself and you get out there and do what you have to do, then it happens. And I think, like I said, I always believe in us being kings and queens, being as, imagine if all the things that happened to us in our life, we really realize it happened to us because we are kings and queens. It happened to us and believe in ourselves, then a lot of what's going on in the world with us killing each other and all that wouldn't be happening because of the way we would view each other. Like, if I go outside and I see a bunch of kings and queens, I'm not going to try to mess that up. I'm not going to try to kill a king or kill a queen or disrespect the king or disrespect the queen. But if my mentality is a savage mentality where I don't care about nothing but myself, and you know what I mean, and then I can go out and kill somebody and then later on get on my knees and pray to God and tell him I'm sorry and I believe, then you have no reason to do the right thing because you got an out game. Your out is no matter what you do, you can say, oh God, I'm sorry. And then all of a sudden, like, it's cool. And that's the part I never understood about religion. Like I said, the white people gave us religion while we were in slavery. So if religion teaches you that to get to heaven, you have to do the right things and all that, you can't tell me that they put us in slavery, killed us, raped us and all that, and then at the end of the day got down and prayed to God and said, oh, I'm sorry, God, you know what I mean? Let me get to heaven, even though for 400 years I've been having these people enslaved and doing, I just don't get that part. And like you said, Ron, we grew up on, with 5%ers, and what they presented to you was like something that you can, it's like actual facts. Like they broke down everything. They didn't tell you something that you couldn't actually see for yourself. So it was a lot easier to believe.
Before Miko go, and I know Deep got a hand, and we're not gonna go too long into this. I mean, I do love this discussion, but one of the things that I want to say, Ty, is that even I think people get confused. Even the path of Muslims. Muslims do read the Bible, right? So they believe that Jesus was a prophet. They just don't believe Jesus was the Son of God. Okay, that's what they believe. But I think what's also important is that, as the Bible states, like we have to study to show ourselves approved. Like coming from a perspective of what someone else did to us, and then coming to the fact that how we view ourselves and how we carry ourselves and what we believe ourselves, or even who we believe in, sometimes the answers is right in front of us. So I know it's easy for us to look at what white people did to us and then say, I can never believe in God because if God was this, or if these people believed in God. But like, as Mo said earlier, and I think Slice too, and even maybe Joe, like people treated Christ and did things to him that was ungodly. You know what I mean? So it's not that, it's wicked people in everything. Catholics, Muslims, Christians, regardless. And that's why I think for myself, I can't speak for nobody else. I think after I began to read a lot more, I've got a better understanding, and I've became at peace with who God is and what He does for me. So I think a lot of it, as we talk, even in our communities, is education. Us getting the right information, knowing the right information. Even as a Christian, I think we can adopt some of the things that the Muslims do. I love the fact that they'll talk to you. They don't really care. You know what I'm saying? Like more Christians, we need to be bolder. You know what I'm saying? Because the Muslims, they out there. That's one thing that I can say that I love about them. But I think in all faiths, because I don't want to say religion, in all faiths, everyone has some good things, but God is a person that reigns on the just and the unjust. And it doesn't matter. He don't have no favorites. It's good, Miko.
Yeah, just real quick. I ain't gonna be long. And everything like that you guys are talking about, like this discussion, man, like this would have to be like a call like on its own for us to discuss this, to be real with you. You know what I mean? But like it's just like one of those thoughts, or there's one of those things like you said, like you got to read for yourself and things like that. Because me personally, like I said, I ain't an atheist or nothing like that. And I do believe like in a higher being and like a higher power and things like that. But when you have people like like certain Christians and stuff who tell you certain things or say like what they've read and what they believe, and then they want to force it upon you what their beliefs are instead of you having your own beliefs. And then the thing is, like for me, Chinese people, their religion pretty much is like Buddhism, right? Like a lot of them worship Buddha and things like that. So, or that deity. So the thing is, you couldn't tell me that all Chinese people are going to hell because they don't believe in Jesus Christ. You know, because they believe in Buddha. Like that's their God. Like that's what they believe in. You know, and you got, like I said, like your Muslims, like I said, they believe in Allah. Then you got, you know, your Christians who believe in like Jesus Christ. Jewish people don't even believe in Jesus. They don't believe that he's come back yet. Like don't believe in Jesus. So you got all these different viewpoints and what people believe and how they believe, and they didn't want to force it upon you. But the main thing about me is that I may not believe what you believe, but I respect what you believe.
That's it. That's all.
I respect it. It's like I understand where you're coming from, and I respect that. I'm not going to go out and say why you believe it. No. Especially if you have a certain ritual or something that you do, or something like that. If you say, look, when we do this, we're supposed to do that. I'm gonna respect that. Be like, okay, I'm gonna do it with you because that's just what your ritual is, or whatever it is that you do. So I'm gonna respect that. I'm gonna respect what your beliefs are, you know, and that's what people get away from, is respecting what other people believe. You know what I mean? So, and that's all I'm gonna say about it.
Good stuff, DC, and then we'll move on to the next, our final question. Go ahead, DC.
Again, I repeat, like I started with, God didn't say have these religions. He said, believe in me, believe in my son, and believe in my commandments. So all these religions, including Judaism, Islam, Seventh-day Adventists, all of that is not in the Bible at all. Those were man-made, white man Christianity religions that was given to the world through the Catholic Church, given to us as slaves. Again, that book was written by us, for us, to us, the bottom line. Even if you look in the Quran, the Surah, I want to say it's verse 84 in there. It says to the Muslim world, believe in Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Who is that? Those are the Israelites. See, if I was to say I was a Christian, I'm a true Christian. Christian is only one time in the Bible. And the literal meaning is follower of Christ. But what we have done in this world is taken that and turned Christianity into a religion. Let's look at it again. Follow Christ, but not in a religion. Because Christ will tell you, not one tittle or tithe of the law shall be taken away until I return. And so what I'm saying to you is, we have been bamboozled in terms of religion in all facets. If you look up all these particular religions, you will see who did it, whether it was Martin Luther, who was this guy named John, whatever, that created the Mormon religion. I'm actually, part of my job as a believing God is to rebuke my brethren. And what that simply means is correction. So if you believe something and don't believe, love thy neighbor. It is my job to come in and correct you. And the Lord tells you, you should only go to them so many times. And if a person doesn't believe, then they already done lost their lives. That's at the end of the day. Believe what you want to believe, but I'm going to do my part. Now, I ain't trying to proselytize you, convert you. I'm going to give you what the word says. You accept it, do the ABC thing, and if you don't, then you know what? That's between you and God. All of us on one day going to have to bow that knee and confess our sins, and that book's going to be open. Bottom line.
All right, listen, we got Dana in real quick. I'm gonna let him answer that question, and then we're gonna move on to the last question. We're gonna wrap it up. So Dana, the question was question number 2. Because we were stripped of our language, our culture, and our way of thinking, is that one of the main reasons why we view God the way we do? What you got, brother? You got 3
well, I'm not well versed in the Bible, even though I grew up, you know, my grandparents, you know, going to church, and you know, you had to go to church. You couldn't go outside to play unless you went to church. So, you know, I'm not well versed, but from what I've been told, that is true from the studies that I've seen that we have. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I can't honestly answer that. You know, from my view, I can't, because I mean, I really couldn't answer it. I really couldn't. I'm not well versed enough in the Bible. I know about it. I've read it, some of it, but as far as from what I've been told and from the research I've done, I feel that we have been stripped of our culture and where we come from. No question about it. I think that's how you said, how they used to say it, that's science. You know, that's there. We know that from us getting older. You know, as we get older, we learn more. I do believe that, because that's for me. That's for sure. As the older I got, the less stupider I got. You know, so you know, it's just the fact of, and like I said, once again, I'll say it again, from what I've researched, we have been stripped of our culture. And I don't understand how you can be a Christian and have the hate in your heart for a person of a different color or different creed. That's why I don't understand. I don't get that. I hear all these people say, we're Christians, we're standby, and we're all American. What are you talking about? I mean, I thought the Bible said, you know, you love all. You know, you love one as you love all. I thought that's what he did. I thought that's what I know for a fact. I wouldn't be where I'm at without believing. I'm not what you would say. You know, I do my church, my Sunday morning thing, but you know, I'm a believer. I understand. I think my I have faith in it. I will say that. I do have faith, and my faith is strong, because I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here without it. I wouldn't, because when I needed it, and when I prayed, and when I sat there and really thought, and it's how should you say it? It's positive thinking too, that you know, I would be where I'm at. You know, God bless. I'm still here. And, you know, I'm able to actually work and function within the society.
I like that perspective. One of the things that I will say before we go on to the next question is, you know, the Bible talks about those that will confess to be of God, but will do wicked things. You know what I mean? So it's people who will say that I'm a Christian or a Muslim, you know, and all these things. Like, even when people blew up the planes and all of that, and saying that this is, you know, Allah doesn't teach you to do that. Like, Islam is about righteousness. So you use Allah's name in vain to carry out your mission, and now you've connected that with a religion or a faith, and now people are connecting that, and so now they have something to say. And it's no different from a person saying that they're a Christian, and then they go out and do these wicked things to people. That's not true definition of a Christian. But the reality is that we're gonna have people that's connected to every faith or religion, whatever you want to call it, and be bad people. So we got to be able to distinguish the real from the fake. And I know sometimes it's no different than the protesters out there who is protesting for justice, and then you got those out there that's doing the looting and the bombs that really wasn't even with the movement, but now they're attached to the movement, so they look at the whole movement like that. So just a little inside thing I want to give you guys. So now, last question. Hate comes from a place of evil intention and is typically taught at an early age, passed from generation to generation. So what is your perspective on hate overall? Not just black and white, but for its true meaning. It's on you, Miko.
Well, the original definition, like what you just said, yeah, I definitely believe in that. But also, too, hate to me is the disdain for someone. No, I ain't gonna say someone. Okay, yeah, I could say that. For someone or a group of people or something like that you don't even know. Like you have no idea of these people or this person. Like the mere sight of them makes you hate them. The mere mention of them makes you feel some kind of way without you even knowing anything about this person or these people. Now, once you do know this person or these people, then if they are as evil or as nasty as they seem to be, then yeah, you shouldn't hate anybody. But what it comes down to is that, like, I remember when I was in Germany, in Rome, and you probably know this too, and anybody that was over in Germany. My experience with Germans was they did not like me at first. Wasn't so much because I was a black man, it's because I wasn't German. Like they all about their culture and their people.
Right.
So once they got to know me, you know, the ones I was around, the ones that they loved me to death. But the offset was I'm not German. So you're not one of us. You're not part of our culture and what we're about. You know, but once they got to know me, it was different. It was like, yo, this person's pretty cool. Like we like him. Like, you know, he makes us laugh. He's funny. He's a nice person. But from the jump, they didn't like him. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's where I think that comes from, is just, you know what I'm saying, like being uneducated. Hateful people sometimes too, you know, are uneducated on certain things. And they take that with them to carry out what it is that they want to do. Just like Jerome, like you said about, you know, them blowing up buildings and things like that, like Muslims like using like Allah's name to blow up buildings and things like that, you know, because they are going off what someone is telling them to do, and they feeding into that to go carry out something. You know what I'm saying? Not really being educated on what it is that they really should be doing. That's why they start calling them to be radicals. You know, so and that's what I just see hate as being, is just, you know, not liking someone or not liking a group of people you don't even know like who they are. Just the mention or the vision of them makes you just feel some kind of way. And that's my thing. That's my take.
Good job, man. Good perspective, insight. So on you, Mo.
All right. For me, it kind of goes back with what Miko said. It's the perception you have of others and how you view others in your strong relationship, or how you feel, or what affects you, or what motivates you. Because, you know, hate can look a lot like love. Because hate can consume you, just like love can consume you. You know, I was on a plane and this lady kept looking at me, and I was like, and she just kept looking at me. She's like, and I said, hey, how you doing? She's like, I'm just so envious of you guys. Y'all are so talented. Y'all are more talented. You know, you whatever y'all do it to the best of your ability. I mean, looking at you, you look like a young man, and you age well. Just all these things that are being said. It's like, wow, So it was just like, and then we got to talking, and the perception that she had was totally swayed. Like Nico said, it's perception, and then the relationship. Once you build that relationship, you can tear down those walls of hate or disbelief, or those outliers that they think, oh, everybody's the same, everybody's this way. And it's like I always think about, when I think about hate or love, and taking the black or white out of it, I just look at the Dallas Cowboys. If you look them up and you go type in everyone hates the Cowboys, it's like 49% hate and like 51% love. I mean, it's just like, that's why they are America's team, because they're gonna be loved or hated. So hate and love are so closely related. That's why I guess they always say it's a thin line between love and hate, because it truly is, because both of them can consume you, and both of them can destroy you or build you up or tear you down. So that's my perception on it. It's like, nothing about black or white or anything else. It's just how much you relate to that, or how much you put your heart and effort into seeing one or the other in someone or in something. That's all I got.
Good job, man. Good insight, man. It's on you, Ty.
Hate is a crazy word, man, because I've never understood hate, because me personally, only thing that I hate is losing. You know what I mean? And that's just because of me personally, like challenging. I hate losing, but I could never hate someone. Like I don't understand that. You know what I mean? Because I think it comes from, like, most people that hate so much deep down the side, really hate themselves. You know what I mean? They don't like who they are as people. So they use that hate that they have for themselves and spear it on other people. Because if you look at it, most people doing good and having fun, they ain't got time to be hating on nobody. Like, they enjoying themselves and they loving themselves and they loving family, because I think hate takes away from love. You know what I mean? So if you're a person that really loves yourself and you love your family, you love everyday living and all that, you have no time to hate. Like, when are you gonna put hate into the agenda when you're too busy loving everything? But when you wake up every day and your life ain't what you thought it was gonna be, you need somebody else to blame for that. You know what I mean? You need to hate someone, so then that's your excuse. Because if you think about it, most people don't talk about themselves. They talk about other people. You know what I mean? They don't spend a lot of time talking about themselves. They speak about other people, because they rather worry about what other people doing and talk bad about them, rather than admitting the things that they're doing wrong themselves. Like, hey, I need to do this to get myself together, or I need to do this to better myself. They take that and just start hating other people. And like it was said before about people hate, how can you hate somebody that you've never met? Like they've never done nothing to you. You don't know them. Like, how can you hate them? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, don't get me wrong. Now, if someone did something to you, and if you want to hate them for that, okay, that's you. But for people just to hate you, or hate someone that they never met, never had any interaction with, anything like that, that's inner hate. That's you not being comfortable with who you are, and that's why you're sparing hate on the world. So that's my whole thing on hate, and I will never understand.
All right, it's on you, T.
It's on me?
Yes, sir.
All right.
See,
Hate comes from a place of evil. Hate is taught. Hate is recycled. In fact, hate is a disease that we soon need to find a cure for. And it ain't, and let me say this. We have been infected as well, which is why we kill each other.
Absolutely.
And why we do the things to each other. And again, I'll repeat, it is a disease that has consumed us over time, and we at a peak right now. And I think that if you really believe the Bible, I'm gonna stick with the Bible. And what I say, I like to speak from verses versus speaking my own words. And so we have in Deuteronomy 18 and 17, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. So the Bible is already prophesied as a people. And if you believe who we are in the Bible, and if you believe that Jesus is black, then the Israelites and the Jews are, because Jesus is spawned from the tribe of Judah. And so, and that's in the Bible as well. So it already has been prophesied we were going to be hated. What wasn't prophesied, and I haven't found it yet, was that we was going to hate on each other. And that was American Willie Lynch tradition. And y'all, I'm sure, heard about it, at least read it. That is what caused the hate, the good hair, to the kinky hair, to the light skin, the dark skin, to the big, to the fat. Every differences we had, they put us at enmity with each other or hate with each other. And that is, again, tradition of what we're doing now. But before I close, Ron, before you put that fist up, because I'm going to take 2 minutes from Dana. He only did 30 seconds. I'm joking. But I'm getting ready to dispel some fallacies. And I got the FBI crime report here. And these are all the crimes reported. There are some deviations or, some incorrections here. But when it comes, we own murder and manslaughter and attempted murder. 53.3%, 44 point with us, 44.1% with white folks. There were 7,900 crimes committed last year. White people committed 5,319,064. Black people committed 2,115,381. Either way, that's a lot of crimes. We're 13% of the population, which equates to about 42 million. Comes to 5%. We commit 5% of the crimes, and who we commit them against? Our own. That number's still large. It might look low when you look at the big spectrum of things, but the myth I want to dispel is we ain't the only ones doing this. Out of all these crime reports, guess which two we are number one on? Murder, manslaughter, attempted murder, and gambling. Pedophilia, arson, burglary. Oh, I'm sorry, we do got burglary. Those are the three. Arson, assaults, hate crimes, and any other crime you want to know on there. They are number one. So sometimes we too hard on ourselves, and we should to a certain degree. But as again, Jay-Z said, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie.
All right, good job, brother. You went over your time, but I'll let you know.
I know, I appreciate you. You know me.
You had a lot to say. It's all good.
Hey, I wasn't trying to like.
I didn't put the fist
I'm gonna keep mine short.
Hold up, Dana. It's on Joe, Slice, then you, and then me. All right, Joe, go ahead.
So I'm glad you brought up those numbers, man. That's good, because this is what I want to say. A lot of us, we keep in mind, any amount is whack. I mean, the hearts that we guys have on this panel, any amount is whack. But I'm just going to let you guys know that black on black crime statistics are pushed out there in the media. They're pushed out into the media so they will have something that they can point to when we ask for just treatment. I'm telling you, if so, he said it's 53 and 41. How come we don't see any of those statistics from other races? I don't care about other races as far as that's concerned. That's just something that I just wanted to put out there. Just know that those percentages are pushed out there for a certain reason.
Yes, sir.
Hate comes from a place of evil intentions, and let me tell you something right now. If you've ever experienced love, real love, you hold your son or your daughter for the first time, holding your kid for the first time, the love that you were searching for your whole entire life That's it right there.
Yes, sir.
If you ever feel that, there's no way you can go back. There's no way you can go back. Hate is taught. And on another hand, too, you think if your little son or daughter coming into the world, they don't know nothing, they don't see no color, they don't see no inequity. All they see is their mom and dad. They need you to feed them and take care of them. And that's the love they give you back. It's the most purest form of love in the humanity. My perspective on hate, it has zero place in our life. If we have 5% hate, we could only have 95% love. If we have 30% hate, imagine if we have 70% hate. There's only room for 30% love. That's real. We need more love. And the reason why there's not a lot of love in the community is all the things we're talking about, plus God is love. God ain't in those communities. He is, but he's, like he said, he's been given to us, or the Christianity's been given to us by other people who ain't really following it right. They're trying to trick us for their own reason. Or Ty saw his grandmother go to church and then come home later on and have a beer and curse some people out. So now Ty, that affects the way he thinks about Christianity. But what you don't know is that Christianity ain't promised, perfection ain't promised for Christianity. It's the journey, the struggle. I guarantee you, Ty, if you had watched your grandmother maybe 7 more times, it might have got progressively better. You know why? Because that's what it is. It's the more you read, the more you know, the better you do. And that if this person changed in one day, you wouldn't accept it. But the struggle, the journey about Christianity and love is what's so beautiful. Is that you can love freely. It don't cost you anything. And you can just go about that path and make the world better through love. But we gotta get it from the ground up. It can't be from the ceiling down. It gotta be from the ground up. We gotta get love and get it through our community and stretch it out so it can bounce back. That's what I got.
No doubt.
Good stuff, man. Whew. It's on you, Slice. Y'all boys going in on this. I like
That was good, Joe Disco. I like that. Yeah.
You ain't heard that name in a long time, huh, son?
Every time I hear
Yo, Slice, I'm the only one that say that, bro.
Okay, my bad. Okay, hate, man.
Hey, he got
Wow.
DJ Joe Nizzo. You can call him that, though.
Oh, okay.
that's
Man,
new age.
Hate is something that
Side note, hold on,
seems to be-
pardon me. Side note, what's so funny? Rome brought it back to me so clear that I thought about changing my DJ name to Joe Disco.
Yeah, son.
Yeah, I like that.
Got you.
I thought about it. You know, I talked to my fam about it. They was like, they don't know. But anyway, let's go.
hate is so prevalent in the world, man, and it's so sad, really, because like all my brothers just said, man, how could someone hate somebody just because of their skin color? You know, you didn't have no interaction with none of us, but because we are Black, you hate us. But by far, I think hate is taught. I think it's taught, but also not only is it taught, but as I've always said before, just because something was taught or you came up that way, as you get older, you're supposed to know better. And when you know better, you're supposed to do better.
Yes, sir.
I don't care what your mother or your father may have taught you, or your grandparents, for that matter. It's about when you grow up and mature as a person, you're supposed to take a person for their character, not for their color of their skin. Just because I like A, you like B, I can't dislike you because you like B, and B can't dislike me because I like A. You know, it don't work like that. You supposed to, as my brother said, respect each other's opinion. Always respect each other. You don't have to agree, but you can agree to disagree. But that's not hate. That's just having a good, disagreement. Disagreement is not hate. It's just we're not agreeing to the same thing, and nothing's wrong with that. That is what make us different. That is what make us different. But to grow your kids or grandkids into hate because of someone's skin color or because of their nationality or whatever, that's wrong. That's wrong. And as far as I pray to God every day. I hope that, like most stress all the time about love should outweigh hate all around the world. Love should outgrow hate all around the world. You know, it should be bigger, way bigger than hate. And then we could drown out hate. You know, you can't have light without, you got darkness. Only thing can drown darkness out is light. And that's one thing we just got to come as a people. And that's when it come back to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. God is love and love is God. And if we have that, incorporate that into our heart, this world will be a much better and brighter place. So that's my take on hate.
Good job, brother. Good job. So on you, Dana, then I'll close it out.
Oh, all right. Well, hate is really stupid, and this is this is how stupid hate is. I hated somebody that I didn't really know, but because of what I was hearing, and I'm gonna put this on Rome, I hated B. Walker.
My man B. Walker.
I hated B. Walker, and I used to hear Roman say, B. Walker's cool, man, he cool. And I used to be like, I hate him, man, I hate that, I just don't like him, and I didn't really know him. But from listening to Roman talking about, this is how stupid it was. Listening to Roman talk about, that dude shoot, he do this, he don't pass, he this, that, and the third. So I'm thinking I'm just riding with Rome. I'm like, Rome, my man, I'm gonna ride with him. And that's how stupid hate is. That's how stupid hate is. And you have people out here that think the same way. Now, I thought this way when I was 20 years old, 19 years old, something like that. But you have people that think like this that are our age.
Yes, sir.
When does it stop? Like, as you get older, you gotta, right is right, wrong is wrong. I mean, I don't understand. I thought right was love and wrong was hate.
Right.
That's what I thought, so I don't understand it. I don't. And I used to use that word, and whenever I used to use it, I should stop myself. That's a strong word, hate. I don't hate him. I might dislike him. I might not like what you call it, I might dislike something that he said. But hate is a strong, strong word. Hate is a strong word. And it's like everybody says, it shouldn't be around. It's gonna be something that we'll deal with forever, as long as we're on this earth. But as long as we're not giving that hate back, I think we give that love to offset that hate, I think we'll be all right. But the fact of it is, can we get that hate out of our community? Because it's a lot of hate in our community. And I don't know if it's so much hate. I think they think that they hate, but they really don't, because a lot of that stuff that's happening is over a lot of petty stuff. Very petty. And I just don't understand hate. I know why, but I don't understand it. And I think the older you get, the wiser you should get on the hate love thing. And that's what I got.
Good job. So I'm gonna go from a different, not different, but versus being hate being taught. I'm gonna say hate is being programmed, right?
Right.
Like when you taught something, you can learn other things and get better. But when you're programmed, especially mentally, that's
Yeah.
all you know, right? So I remember me and Todd going out to California. I never really been around white people that much. Like in high school, it wasn't really nobody white except the coach and maybe a couple people, but I didn't know anybody on a day-to-day basis who was white. So my first experience with a community that was predominantly white, matter of fact, the whole community was white, was when I went to school in California. And I gotta say, like, that's probably the best 2 or 3 years of my life. Like, the fun that we had at school and the love that we got from people who did not look like us gave me a total different perspective on people and judging people for just who they are. And I think that in life, we don't get to experience that. There's not a lot of white people who are around black people, and there's not a lot of black people who are around white people. So now the only thing that you have to go on is what somebody told you that's been going on for generations. So if my grandmother was a slave and she told me about white people and how they treated her, and it's been embedded in me and been programmed, then what am I going to be thinking without even giving that person a chance? And I think we got to be honest, because when we were younger, just is no different than when we were talking about God and Jesus and having those perspectives and those thoughts about God being a white God and all of that, because we were programmed to believe certain things. And I think that when you hate somebody, like as Dana said, that comes from a really dark place. But I think we've been programmed to hate ourselves so much that we can't even love nobody else. So the only thing that you can give is hate if you're not giving love. You know what I'm saying? So how do we fix that in our community? By loving each other, but also loving other people that have different ideas, that have different thoughts. Like, although I'm a Christian, man, I love talking to my Muslim brothers, my Catholic brothers. We don't gotta agree on the same thing, but we could have love for each other. We can have respect for each other. And I think that when you have like neo-Nazis and all these people like that's doing things to different religions and different cultures and stuff like that, like not only were they taught certain things, but they've been programmed like soldiers. You know what I'm saying? And for us, the only way to fix that, man, is to to give each other love each and every day, and give love to people that we come across. Because if not, then we're no good. We're no better than the people that we talk about who commit these acts as well. So that's all I got on that. I know Joe got something. Go ahead, Joe.
I want to also say this, these two things about hate. Usually, hate is so unfounded. If you sit back and think about why I actually dislike this person or hate this person, you probably couldn't even come up with a reason. Let me give you a story about hate. One time I was 6 years old, and me and my sister, who's 3 years older, we were arguing back and forth in my house. Young kid, right? You know, my sister was older, was my mom's favorite. She said something to me, and I said, I hate you. My mom said, get the dictionary, find the meaning of hate, and you're going to write it 500 times. To dislike intensely, to dislike intensely, to dislike intensely. That was the short version of, of course I look for the shortest version. But my mom made me write that 500 times. I had to rip a grocery bag off and write that. That taught me not to come out that word of my mouth so quick. To say I hate somebody, that's how strong the word is. Crazy.
Miko, go ahead. I know you had your hand up real quick.
Yeah, and this will be like real quick, man. I know we all can appreciate this, but really you New York cats gonna really appreciate this. All right? So we all talking about love and hate. Love. Hate. Radio!
God
Radio!
bless him. God bless him. He was a nice man. I worked with him.
So,
He was a nice man.
I know y'all. I know y'all gonna appreciate
God
that.
bless him.
He's
He was
back.
a nice man. He really was.
Radio Raheem.
You know what I'm saying?
That quick.
You're a wildcat. But listen, I want to go around everybody 1 minute. Just some closing remarks. You could talk about whatever we talked about, or you could say whatever you want, but keep it to like a minute. We're going to go around and then we're going to close this thing out. So we're going to start with Mo up top, Todd, DC, Joe, Slice, Dana, Miko, and me. Go ahead, Mo.
Oh man, all I gotta say, I mean,
I'm gonna put this in my bag.
what everyone's been saying as far as, I mean, we gotta stop being selfish. We gotta stop being selfish and we gotta start loving everyone. You know, I mean, you think about like the NBA, the owners and the players are being selfish because they want to play, but look at the people that it's affecting. Just plain thing with wearing masks. People think, I don't want to wear a mask, but really, you got to think about the other person. That's what you're protecting, because you don't know if you got this or not. I mean, and then with the NBA and all these places and things that are going on, I mean, you got all these people that aren't as privileged or that have to clean the rooms, have to feed them, and then they go back to their families. Are they staying in the bubble? You know, it's just,
Right.
it's so much stuff that's going on in this world right now. You know, we got someone in the White House that's, you know,
He's got to go.
preaching discord, and we just need to be united in love, and be less about self and more about everyone else.
Good job. Todd, it's on you, brother. 1 minute.
Well, like I said, man, one thing I like about these calls is that we got all good brothers on here, because I can see, like, with the whole religion thing, like, I'm the only person that probably think a little different from everybody else, but at the end of the day, everybody on here is good people. You know what I mean? Like, my best friend in the world is my brother, and he is a religious person and everything, but it's like, whenever we talk, it's the same thing. Like, you know what I mean? We believe the same things. We want the same things, and we stand for the same things. We just get the, you know, our goals and everything from a different thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I think, like I said, I would never disrespect religion, because if you believe in God and that makes you a better person and all that, hey, that's the only thing that counts, for real. No matter what you believe in. You believe in a rock, and you go home and you preach to a rock, and you sit down in front of a rock and you pray, but at the end of the day, you take care of your family, you take care of yourself, you're not out here, you know, messing the world up, then to me, it's like, it's a good thing. And the good thing about when our discussions is, we can have different ways of what we think and everything, but it's coming from good people, man. And speaking with good people is the best way. Like I said, the whole religion thing that bothers me is like I said, growing up with people who claim to be religious, but they don't do nothing religious at all. You know what I mean? Like, you can't say you believe in God and all that and hate, because like Dana said from the beginning, if you're a religious person, you believe that all children are God's children. You know what I mean? So if you believe in God, how can you hate one of God's children, especially when that child has done nothing to you? So that's the whole thing, religion, that I always, you know, have a conflict with or whatever. But like I said, as long as you believe in yourself and you take care of your family and you got love, man, that's the only thing that counts.
Good job. So you, DC?
All right, I'm gonna end on a positive note. Black people as a group have overcome some of the hugest hurdles in life over anybody in mankind. I'll put that out there. One thing that we've forgotten is who we are as a people. And until we get that back, we will not progress forward. And that aches me. And it may take 5 generations from now, we may not see it, but I think we'll get there. Again, I'm gonna close this out with that bag. That bag only separates us when we don't do the right thing with it. A lot of mighty men out here, and I call mighty men these NBA players, these people in positions of authority who got that bag, who's scared to share that bag, who won't voice their opinion because they scared that bag will get taken from them. I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
That bag will change poverty. That bag will change life. That bag will allow us to grow and develop. And that bag eventually and ultimately should be able to bring us together as a people. When those Israelites were released from Egypt,
Yes.
guess what they got on their way out? They got that bag.
Right.
The Lord blessed them and told Pharaoh, you're going to pay them in gold and silver on their way out of bondage.
Good job, man. On you, Joe.
I enjoyed this call probably more than a lot of the other, most out of all the calls. I was really, it really gave me life, talking about this stuff, I'm glad that we could share, and even though we don't all see things, I feel like if we see the things like Jerome said, we believe in Christ, that's a starting point, and I'm cool with that. We gotta get love back in our community. That's fact, and you know what? And I'm gonna be honest, we act like we don't need money, but we do need money, because you can't do anything without money, because that's the currency. That's how the world talks. So we need money, we need education, and we need togetherness, and we need to dispel all these things that were put in our community. Use our love along with these tools, get our communities back straight. Then we can see a chance of seeing some real change.
Good stuff. So on you, Slice. Good job, Joe.
Yeah, man. As always, it's been a great call. A lot of great knowledge, wisdom from everybody, man. I just hope and pray that we continue to try to uplift this world to be a better place, try to go forward, moving forward, considering the circumstances in life and everything. I pray most of all for our communities, our Black communities, that we try to do better and be better, man, because I know a lot of people may not agree with it, but we got to start with ourselves first. We got to start with ourselves first. As Ty would always say, we need to treat each other like we are kings and queens, and love each other. And I know I spoke on hate about other nationalities or whatever, but as some of the brothers said, we got a lot of hate in our own community, and that is where we need to start at. And of course, we definitely need money to do things and to be able to touch this world and make this world a better place for our community, and education as well. We can't never shortchange education. We need education to be able to progress in this world. I appreciate the call, brothers. Always a blessing and an honor to be on with y'all guys.
No doubt, son.
On you, Dana.
Oh, well, mine is it's a money-driven society. That's why they playing these games. As far as we do need that love in the community, and we need that money. You need other people to be involved, though. I wish that there was a clear cut, steps that you could take to get that righteousness that we need in our community. Because right now in New York, they're absolutely shooting and killing everything walking over here. And it's no good, man. It's not, and it's just setting us back. And I don't understand. I just want to know why. Why is it, why don't they see the same thing that we see? I know we're not all, we're all different. We're all individuals, regardless of how many people on earth. But why they don't see that killing your own right now, right anywhere, anytime, but right now it's ridiculous. It is. And like I said, it's a money-driven society. So they're gonna play them games until they can't play no more. So That's what I got. Thank you, man.
All right, so for me, it's man, we just got to continue to pray for those who don't have the understanding and open mind that we all do. You know, it takes you have to be willing to learn, and you have to be humble enough to realize when you're not right or when things are broken in your life. And we've all been in those places where things have been broken in our lives and we've had to fix it. You know, whether we admitted it or someone told us. But we've all had those times where things were broken. And I think that for the most part, like the people that's doing the things that they're doing, they haven't been taught correctly. And so it's going to take brothers like us to network with other people to make a difference. If not, you know, they're going to continue to do what they do. So for us, we just continue to put out positive messages, come together, vibe like brothers, treat each other with respect and love, and hopefully that'll rub off on someone and you teach those who haven't been taught correctly. So I want to thank all of y'all for always getting on the call, giving your input, sharing love, and sharing your knowledge. Miko, go ahead real quick, and then we close it out.
Oh, I didn't get my 1 minute.
Right.
Oh, my bad, brother.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Mo
Anyway,
didn't get his 1 minute. Mo get his 1 minute too?
Yeah. We started with Mo. Anyway, just real quick.
My bad, Sid.
Let me tell you something. You all right, but I'm gonna tell you something. But Rome, like real quick, like what you and Ty was saying about, you know, respecting what each other like believe, you know what I'm saying? But y'all trying to get to the same goal and stuff possible, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all take the same goal. It's like you both believe in California and you live in New York. One believe the best way to get there is to fly, the other believe the best way to get there is to take the train, but you both believe in the same thing. So, you know what I'm saying? So I like that. I like what DC said about getting that bag. You can't tell me that out of all these brothers in the NBA and NFL, they couldn't take their money, black people, pull it together and start something and really help build our communities. There's no way that you cannot tell me that they couldn't do that. You know what I mean? So I definitely believe in that. You know, so, and I just want to say, man, and this call, when all this stuff is over with, that we got going on like right now, we all got to meet up, man, somewhere, and you know what I'm saying, brothers, man,
Tyrone,
get it in.
It's October.
What's
Tyrone
that?
birthday October in Arizona.
Oh, word, that he won't see me. But but
that Rona, right?
that Rona, bro, that Rona. But when all this is over with,
I'm talking about in case if everything goes away. Come on now.
Right. It's still gonna take a minute for me to trust that. But
God bless, man. You ain't lying, man.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you, it's like if we trying to run to a helicopter, I'm just gonna tell Jerome, head to the chopper now, get down now, run to the chopper now. So,
oh man.
Hey, serious.
But hopefully sometime next year, man, we can all get together when all of this is over, and then we'll come together, man. I definitely.
Rome. They tell Trey there's another, you know, the Cleveland playing New York again this year, the Jets.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll let her know, man. But
I mean, we ain't going. I'm not going. We ain't going. But just to let her know, we missed out on that.
No doubt. I'll let her know. The Browns got some work to do anyway, man. Not to forget the corona. They got other issues that's in their locker room. So we'll see how they do this year. But good talking to all you guys, and we'll definitely get on the next call. Y'all take it easy. Peace.
No doubt. Safe, y'all.
Be blessed, bro. Yo, dude.
Talk to you through text.